Hello YouTubers, welcome back to my channel. If you remember last time, the last one I did, we used my new gas filled canister soldering iron. We tried the donkey and I completely messed it up due to the holes that were on the side of the tip, which I didn't even realise they were there. And consequently what that did was completely mess it up, and it burnt it in places that I didn't want and didn't need it. So we are now starting a new one. So firstly, let me show you, I brought one of these little babies. This was £37 off of Amazon, if you can see it. It came with this. You've got your motor here, which is very easy to use, with a temperature gauge. Now this actually starts, the temperature this starts at is the temperature that the first one that I used finished at, the one that I bent. So just so you know, it gives you a sort of a very good range. It comes with this, which is great, and that's to hold it when it's hot. A heat mat, which it actually attached around here, but then I found it wasn't really long enough to get close enough to the tip. So we took it off, put that on it like that, and that's what holds it like that. Fantastic. Also comes with a range of tips. You got a pointy one, which I found didn't heat right to the point, and it bent very easily, so that's not one that I should be using, I don't think. And then we've got one that's very similar to the one we'll be using, but it's not square, it's a rounded end, if you can see that. There. And then it also comes with this one, which is the one it came with on. It was already attached, which is great, but I couldn't get the fine enough line that I wanted to. So I put this one on. If you can see, it's got very thin, and it goes, the very tip goes up into a point. If you can see that. It's only a very slight point, but it's enough to do things like fur and things like that. I do want to get a ball tool tip, which is great for writing. If you sort of look round, that's what people use. And I kept that out of the soldering iron one because it's the quickest way. It's got a little bit of water in there. Quickest way of reducing down the temperature on the tip really quite quickly. To change the tips on them, you've got a couple of little screws. You just got to unscrew those two. Slide that one out, put the new tip in, tighten them up. Very, very easy. Not so easy if it's hot. You do have to be very, very careful. And this gets up to a range of 750 degrees, which will indeed melt the skin from your bones and cause marks on your bones. So do remember that you must always follow the manufacturer's instruction, and always err on the side of caution. Now this has a button under here that you're supposed to hold on and then let go when you want to turn it off. So turn it on, you hold it down, let go, turn it off. Now with my arthritis in my hand and the size of this, which I have to say is very light, I can't really fold it, it wasn't so easy. So I've done something really naughty, and I do not do this at home. Always don't do this, but I've put a little piece of clay there holding the button down and put tape around it, which actually is helping as well, because this goes all the way down and it actually hurts my hand holding it. So there you go. I haven't stuck it over the vents, which are there and there. I haven't done that, so just don't do it. Always follow your manufacturer's guarantee, but for me this is how I wanted to do it. Okay, so let's push that out of the way. Get everything out of the way. I have redrawn the donkey. Looks not too bad. I've got the picture of him over the back, if you can't see that, obviously. Okay, now this heats up extremely quickly. So I'm going to set it on about let's go with 600. I don't really want to burn as such into the wood, I just want to mark it out for now. And then I can go along and get deeper and deeper and darker where I want to. and then it'll add depth to it. But right for here and now, I don't really want to. This wasn't me. These marks came on the box. If you can see that, that wasn't me. If you can see. So that's something I'll just have to suck in. I put it on with pencil. I did use a carbon copy thing for the last one, which I did in red actually, and it didn't matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get rid of it. Now I have used this and just had a practice on the one that I messed up. So I have had a little practice, nothing major, because the one I messed up on was pretty much done. So I have had a little play with it, but not a lot. So, right, let's get started then. We'll just want to put gentle marks in it and just gently mark out of places of what we've got. So I've turned it on, it's got an on-off power button. I've set it at 600, and immediately, if you can see that smoking, I don't know whether you'll be able to. So that's getting hot straight away. Okay, so just always remember. Now this is great because you can just use it like a pen. It's fantastic. See, and then just start and just basically do your drawing. Now I always tell you, nice and slow. I'm afraid that is the only way forward with, I mean, with any of them, and I've tried all three now, and I have to say this is probably the best one I've got. So don't do what I do and don't get the soldering iron. Skip that one straight away and just come straight to this one, because it really is good, and this is what it's designed for. So I'm just going to keep quiet now. I know that's very difficult to believe. Okay. Don't forget, the link to this picture is in the last video I put up that was complete fail whale. To the lady Terry Sherman that draws them. And that's on Etsy. So if you go on and have a look on there, you'll find this picture. And she's done lots of pictures. She's an amazing drawer. I don't know what's going on with it now. It's probably just me. I've just got to get used to it. It's not something that I've really used before, and although it is very like you can use it with ease, it's like anything, you have to get used to it. It's better if you pull it up towards you rather than push it away, because you don't get so much of a, if you push it away, although you get a nice end on it when you push it away, look. It's whichever way you feel comfortable, I suppose. I prefer pulling it towards me, but you don't get such a fine sort of finish with it. Just let it heat back up a minute. Might turn it up just a smidgen and just see if that's what's wrong. Okay, so I've turned it up to 650 now. Yeah, that seems to be a bit better. We'll go along and remove the pencil afterwards. I find this very, very, very relaxing. I just like to, as you probably just saw, I like to put my hand on my chin and sort of quietly sit here. It's not something you can speed through, it's something you have to take your time with. Move it fairly slowly. Now I feel like it's too hot, so I'm going to turn it back down to 600 and try again with that. It's all just sort of trying and seeing what works for you. I don't move fast enough for perhaps a stronger. The hotter end. Okay, so what I'm going to do, folks, is carry on, and then once I've got just my basic markings over, I'll come back and we'll rub out the pencil marks together, and then we'll go from there. Speak to you in a bit. Hello, folks. Right, okay. So I've just finished my donkey. Very pleased with him so far. I haven't put any shading in or any dark bits or anything like that, and the odd bit I have gone a little bit, where you can see where I've burnt around the edges slightly where the temperature's been too hot. So I'm going to rub over him now, see if I can rub out any pencil marks that might be remaining. And sometimes that does dull down a little bit, where if you have gone a little bit heavier where you didn't want to, it sometimes will like lighten it up a little bit. But I want to get rid of the pencil so I can see what I've actually done. Because if you don't do that, over time, the pencil will come off. And if there's a bit that you've missed, it will look unfinished. So what we're going to do next is just make sure that all the bits are filled in where I want them. I've got my picture over there, which I've got to look at. And then we're going to just start putting some depth in here and there, some shading. Like I want some dark bits in the centre of the ears, on the centre here, and sort of outwards, and so forth. Right, so I think that's pretty good. Okay, just put my rubber there. Okay, so that's what we've got. So it's pretty good, not too bad. Need some shading down this side, if you can see. I've got my picture over there, taped to the back of my desk. And I'm still working on with this point here. I like this one, it's got a slight point on it if I need it. So this is the tip I'm using. So I've got it set on 650 because I want to start doing some shading-y bits. Okay, I'm going to start off. These look like they need just little bits, just nice and slowly. Just have a look and see what's what. Okay, so rubbing those out, I can see now that this is not a sight. These are supposed to have lines all the way in them. Look like this. But I'd obviously missed a couple. Sometimes it's difficult to see. So it's just a case of just going along and sort of mixing the hair together. Try doing a sort of a bit of a scribbly kind of movement, but in straight lines, and it seems to give a really nice fur edging. Okay, so if you can see that, and then in a bit we're going to use the back of it just to darken down. Oh, we've got bright light and sunlight, and we've got sleet snow as well. So I guess somewhere there'll be a nice big bright round rainbow. Okay. So these are the bits I want to make sure they're nice and full, because that's what my picture is. I don't think I want to set it on any more than 650 because I don't want it to burn too much around the edges. Very happy with the way this looks, because this looks like fur on the outsides, on the ears here. If it goes out all scruffy, it doesn't matter, it's fur, which is the other nice thing about doing the donkey. And don't forget this picture, the link is in the other one that I put up of the donkey, the first one we did, that ended up being a complete fail whale. Okay, I might turn it up just a smidgen, so I've turned that up now to 700. Let's see what comes back from that, because I want it to start sort of really... Right, the only thing I can say to you is, with this, take your time. You cannot speed through it because the heat, this thing won't let you, the wood burner. Because every time you use it, you cool it down very, very slightly. But that's enough to slow you down. Okay. I just want to make the centres of that, so down this line bit here, slightly darker. Not all the way down that. I don't want to put in extra, I just want to make it darker in the very middle. So it doesn't matter if it burns around the edges. That's okay, that's just as far as I'm concerned a little bit of extra shading. Certainly in the bit I'm working on now it wouldn't hurt it. When using this you have to just slightly off the actual edge, otherwise it doesn't seem to like giving you an extremely thin line. So just something to notice and sort of note. If I use it right on the very edge, you can, it does give you a line, but not a defined sort of, see, it's only very slight. So I use it just off, so it gives me just a slightly thicker line, but it's like a hotter feel. See how that's gone nice down that one side now, where it's much darker. So we want to do that again this side. Just want to keep it nice and just in that very centre. We're taking it nice and slow. It just gives it a little bit of depth. So you've got different layers, different levels of burning, different layers of pretty much going down each bit. Now bear in mind there's no pencil on here now, so I can see if there's any bits that I've missed that I'm not happy with. Remember what I said, don't tape your button down, because I have only done it because of my arthritis. It is not what it says on the manufacturer's guarantee, and you should not do it. You should always follow the instructions, and always follow the manufacturer's guarantee on everything you do. Okay, because you could end up setting fire to something, or burning yourself, or somebody else, or something like that. It's just not worth the risk. Okay, so don't do it, folks. So the rest of this ear, kind of, this bit comes out here. I've lost some heat somehow, I don't know how. My husband put some foam in there for me. Oh, there we go. Oh dear, this is doing my nutting now. What is it? It's this where I've kind of put some foam in there and sort of held it on. Okay, so that's like that, and then it's kind of like a skinny. So I'm just going up the inside of this ear. Just with very small gestures. I want that centre bit to be nice and dark. Doesn't have to be all on the same sort of direction either. It can be a bit sort of mixed matchy because it's fur. So my picture is a bit sort of higgledy-piggledy. It's got like kind of tufts that come out like that. Different tufts like that. And then this side, it's kind of darkish down this edge. some of it kind of meets in the middle. Just all the way up, it's just very rugged. Please do bear in mind as well, folks, I am no means am I an expert or anything like that. I'm just somebody who liked the look of it and liked some pictures and wanted to do this for my best friend Lucy, which she has a colouring channel, and I thought, well, this is one of her favourite pictures by one of her favourite artists, so I thought, well, why not put it on a box and see how it goes. Okay, so now we're going to do just a little bit of shading. So this side is just not, I'm going to turn it up to maximum now because I really want to get some shading going on now. So this side's quite dark in comparison to the other side. So I'm just going to use the back of the tool which doesn't seem to be doing very much. I reckon it's something to do with this where we've pegged that switch down. The trouble is I don't know where it actually is. I'm going to have to take it apart, I think, and have a little look to see what's going on with it. Remember, nice and slow. Sorry about that, folks, just had to change my my tape on my button. The trouble is when I'm taping it down, what it's doing is heating up and it's stretching the tape, which is not allowing then the piece of rubber that my husband's put in there to, it's not allowing it to push down. So I know that's getting extremely, I don't know that it is now, it was. So let's try that. Yeah, that's burning very well. If you do end up overburning something, just turn it into some fur. All you've got to do is just gently, and then it will be fine. Because this side, obviously, we want quite much darker. So just kind of just letting it go on and glide on itself. I'm not putting any pressure on it at all. Okay. Perfect. Now the other side is a little bit lighter, so I'm going to turn that down to from 750 to 700 because I don't want it to go too much. And I'm going to move a little bit quicker this time because I don't want it to come too dark. I want this side to be a little bit lighter. Not huge amounts, but I do want it to be a little bit. Okay, so this time I'm just rubbing it over but kind of with a little bit more of a faster circular motion, which I have found that gives it a really nice even shade if you do a very small circular motion. Okay, so I'm just going over all the centres and everything because I don't want any white in there or any original box colour. Although it doesn't hurt in the odd place because it's called negative space. So negative space, you want enough negative space in there which works for you on the extremely light parts. So when I come along and I varnish this, which I've got normal yacht varnish, it'll pick up the negative space area. Okay, so that's one ear. I'm quite happy with that. I'll just do a little bit more at the bottom here. The bottom ear. Okay. Okay, so the other ear, again the outside one is a little bit darker, so I'm just gonna, I just want all negative space, I'd like coloured in on the ears. This button will be the death of me, I swear. I'm just going to have to suck it in this time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to have to just hold it, I'm afraid, because that is driving me mad. Okay. Oh, my button's all sticky now. Wait for the end to heat up. I think we might have a malfunction somewhere. Oh no, here it comes. Okay, so there we go, so we've got that quite dark. Okay, so the inside we don't want quite as dark. So we're going to go quite quickly over it. Okay, oh, it might be a bit too. Right, we're going to turn it down to 750 now because it's too hot. Okay, there we go, and it's cooled it down just enough. That is definitely hurting my fingers holding on to it. Look, you can see where it's digging in. That is definitely going to have to be sorted out. My husband will do that for me before I use it next time. It's hurting the arthritis in my thumb, I can feel that as well. Okay, so I think that's probably his ears done. Right, around his eyes, it's very light. And around this eye, it's quite dark this side, but again, very light, so just a quick don't want it too dark, otherwise you'll lose his eye in the contrast of if you make it too dark. Okay, right, now the top of his head is actually, believe it or not, quite light. So from here sort of down, so this bit here, negative space, let's get rid of that. Now the way I find that I quite like it is to go in the direction that the fur is. That way then, if you go a little bit too dark, it just looks like it's like a parting of fur. That's quite dark there, it's light there. Oh, this thing is driving me mad. Okay. Oh, my thumb. Oh, bright light, and the rain and sleet has stopped now. So now it's going to blind me. Right. Okay. So you've got his nose. So from his nose it goes a little bit on the darker side, sort of emanating out right around the edges. Just on this bit here. And then, like so. He's got funny little patches here. Okay. Let's do this side. It's pretty much like colouring in. See, sometimes you shouldn't touch things, ladies and gentlemen, and that's why. Okay, I'll leave that bit alone. Okay, so down the outside of his face, it's darker this side, so I'm going to lower along and make sure that it's nice and dark. Don't hold it still too long, otherwise you've seen what it can do on hair and on the wrong places. This is what it's just done. But I can kind of lose that bit, it looks alright. And as a first attempt, I don't think Lucy will mind. I think she'll be very pleased. Sometimes as well I like to make it my own a little bit. If there's something that I quite like, then I'm going to do it. God, that sun is bright and shining, it's lovely. Goodness. Sun is shining down well on us today. It's better than rain and the cold. Although I'm told by my husband that it's actually quite cold outside. Right, now the last one I did, my old husband also pointed out, because when I coloured the teeth in, I went round the lines, I did round the inside of the line that I'd drawn, which actually ended up making his teeth look too small. So do be aware of that, ladies and gentlemen. That's not something that we want to repeat. I reckon there's something wrong with this bit, because it's just not. That's on full power. I'm just not holding it down hard enough. Maybe it's just not getting hot. Oh, here it is. Is it? I don't think it is. This is very disappointing. I'm going to have to get my old one out at this rate. Okay, so this part of him, see now that's working well now. Very carefully, it's got to be black. Okay, and this part of it, my shaky hand look. Well, this works okay, it really is fantastic. But I think it's probably me not holding the button down hard enough. I don't have the strength in my hand like I used to. Okay. Okay, should have done this bit here, not that bit. So I'm just going to do this whole bit now because I've made a fundamental error. I'm so annoyed with myself. Should have coloured in this bit and left that bit white, well, lighter. So we're just going to do it our way now. Now I'm stressing because I've done that. I think it'll be alright. Right, let's try that now. Yeah, that'll be okay. Okay, so now we want to do this line here on the lip, along here. Okay, where I'm holding it down so low, look, be careful because it's actually like turning the colour of the gums, which is fine because I just want to get some shading in. This thing is driving me mad. Oh, now I've got a dark patch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens. This is what happens to everybody, so please don't think that it's just you, because it's not. Okay. I'm just going to take that as a mark. That is meant to be there. There we go. I don't think I'm pushing this button down hard enough, I think. This is what the problem is. think if I hadn't realised that that button was there, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know that I'd have got it, because I really am struggling. I just want to do a light. Goodness me, my hand. I'm pleased with what I've done so far. We will get there. Please do bear with me. The leaves getting up my nose as well. It just shows you, everybody, that I genuinely do have arthritis in my hands, because I'm really struggling. Okay, what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is have a little break for a minute, and then I'm going to carry on. I'm just going to do the ends of his nose and down the sides, put a little bit more black in the tops of his head and here and there, and then I will come back to you, because I want to put some white. I'm going to put some coloured pencil white in there, just in the odd place on his eyes. Might do his teeth or whatnot. Okay, I'll speak to you in a bit. Right, okay, so I've taped it down again. I just could not hold it. I've turned it down to 700 because I don't want to keep leaving big black marks. I just want to do some nice round, like so. And then I'm going to go back over the darker bits in a moment. I'm moving it quite quickly because I don't want to leave too much of a mark on there. And don't forget, if you do end up burning it just that little bit too light, rub a piece of sandpaper over the top, a very soft piece, and it will just take off a little bit of the burn, and it will look a little bit better if that's what you want. I mean, I don't like any negative space not having something on it. So okay, so now I'm going to go over, I'm just going to do my darker bits again, so I know they're nice and dark. Don't hold it on for too long because it will burn through. I might turn it up to maximum actually for this bit. And it's off again. This is doing my noodling. Okay, I think we're pretty much done, thank goodness, with that. The only thing I, like I say, want to do is throw this in the bin. No, sort this out, because there's just no way I can hold it on to do any sort of amount of anything really, because I just can't do it. It's just too, I just can't hold it on because of my hands. I don't really know if that's working or not. Yes. See, is there any lines you're not happy with? Just run a sort of a bit of an uneven line across it, because then it just looks like hair, which is good. Always works. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I was going to put some white on there, but I don't think I am. I think I'll leave it as it is. For a Christmas present, like I say, for Lucy. I'm very, very pleased with what we've done. It's the first time I've ever, other than that other picture of the donkey, the first time I've done anything like this. Second time, you could say that. With the trouble we've had as well with my hands and holding the button and everything, see, I think it's off again. Right, this is driving me insane. Something my husband is definitely going to have a little look at. Just to see if we can sort that out, because I feel like it's ruining my experience of wood burning, and it's definitely causing me to make mistakes that I wouldn't perhaps necessarily have already made. So that's definitely something we're going to have to look at, but there you go. I am nowhere near experienced at it. I am just somebody who liked the look of it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give that a go. And that's what we've done. So, there you go. Just want a little bit in there. There we go. Right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe. Keep your eyes open as well. Subscribe to my channel, as there is going to be some other stuff coming up. I've got, he doesn't look as grand as I thought he did, you know. I don't know, we'll see. I might get my husband to shave it off again. I don't know. But he's not that bad, he's not too bad. He's a good first attempt. I'm not so sure on the shading. He looks a bit like a bit of a zombie kind of one, but we'll see. I'll be releasing one, how to make a dragon with polymer clay. That is probably going to be my next video. It's really, really nice. It's to go on the hexagonal box that I have. So please do sort of keep an eye open and subscribe, and hit the notification button, and then every time I release a video, it will tell you. So thanks for watching, and Merry Christmas.